Oh? I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and talented pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the...
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, we are discussing the whereabouts of the first...
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire...
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been passed down secret. For example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony they hold when they come to
No. My research indicates that the first Mora coin is not... Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious... The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. That is, that the Lord of Geo used this Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal...
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to... The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis. As for its fate...
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument...
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history.
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses.
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical power that...
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora? I mean, I am...
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat? I mean, if it's okay with you.
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us? Perhaps...
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you, sir. Let's go. What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss this somewhere quiet. Your argument just now exhibited a cuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and acting of the others. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods...
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god. But she encountered Morax when Morax used a rather underhanded trick to...
This bit of history is a long story.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
No, it's just...
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you. First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Snezhnaya. I'm not here for... But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation if you want to see. I will be conducting an archaeological survey here. the results of which will all be shared with the ministry. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhang Li, with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor? Yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor must...
Of course you would be such a reasonable man.
Wait, if you were studying archaeology, can I go too?
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will surely be of great help to us.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely...
Well, that is quite enticing. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, an ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the gods' This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything valuable here? I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur and all, and I don't even know where to begin looking here.
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the Overlord of the... After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we... What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago. But due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them have been complete. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part in the formation of Guyan Stone.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own...
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by...
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich. I mean, rich with archaeological knowledge and historical value, yes? Well, since we brought so many people...
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering of knowledge...
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so...
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare... The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Let me see.
Swift and merciful.
Shadows of... I'll protect us!
From whence you came.
Cerulean Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Written in the stars.
Swift and merciful.
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly affect the hydrodynamics. I have a contract and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them and recover the relic. It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize this or that. What are you good for?
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back.
I've just been researching the God of Salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that... And you? You kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth.
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way? This also matches the
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were able to bring back some intrigue. Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex. The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power.
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring you.
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the God of Salt is because history can tell us about culture and beliefs. But you? You're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down.
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to...
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the Qixing...
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? Don't be so simple-minded. All right then. No need to stay here any longer. I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of Salt's people. Therefore, there's...
According to legend, the people of the god of Salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her, but this legend has been around for ages, with the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the area.
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have come.
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of... However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism, the seal wasn't affected at all. So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of Salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence, but I'm pretty sure the seal is meant to hide some kind of long-forgotten... The god of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secret. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the god of Salt lie within this ruin, just waiting for...
You weren't listening at all, were you? Ugh. Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside, nobody can get in if the seal isn't broken.
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just about everything.
The seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr.
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just...
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says... Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of Salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another? This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to the god to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. This benevolent god searched all across Liyue, At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury, and that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Terai.
How sad then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morak.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened doesn't matter as long...
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingse in the north. With this clue, you should...
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
Really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two.
Okay.
I propose you to agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist?
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then, even half of the treasure.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt, you must judge it fairly.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then.
Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Duh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Written in the stars. Go, Barbara, go! Yeah!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in...
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful.
Finally. After all that effort, I've found precious I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I could...
Hey! How can you use a relic of...
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can any...
Since we have a contract, it's...
Then let's move on, shall we?
Rise! Crumble! Quake!
Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look...
This, if I remember correctly...
Indeed. But the god of salt when you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt. Much like the deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless! Why would she get any...
So you are saying you want to break the
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I know... Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I...
Because you agreed to a Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their
That is one of your Liyue gods. I...
will suffer the wrath of the rock.
Pay your dues.
Crumble!
One with my blade.
Swift and merciful.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the room.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that, when people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire? I think we should be honest with each other now. That in truth, not a single member of this.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are—
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to see— You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos. During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost— We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge—
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no— Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Rise! Quake! Stabilize!
One with my blade.
Order guide you.
A touch of frost.
Delve into
Crumble! Quake!
let the show begin.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true.
This...
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract...
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the god of salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her, even if it breaks the contract. I don't...
So you are already decided? That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the...
That's okay. The god of salt gave up her life to protect her people. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof...
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. As punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among...
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No. No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt.
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of...
It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but... Salt and betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but the Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances, but they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the...
This must be a lie. A false history, all of it! Don't you dare try to shake my faith!
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not, judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, indeed, in ages past, Havria, faith in a god who has already passed will do you no. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you like to accompany me in... Treading old, one cannot help but be reminded. Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan stone. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The salt chalice and salt ruler that she left behind should not return. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also, I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which I ended. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a mighty force, and history... I need to find a better way of recording history. Stone carvings were one such ancient method. But unchanging stone, immovable earth... Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved in your memory, as long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for time. Now then, it is time that we consigned both the salt As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants of many bygone gods are. This includes Osial, overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned to this... Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate.